Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. I guess we might as well get rolling here. Just to do some introductions, I'm Steve Oliver, Director of Public Works for Zora Township. Ken Bettles, he's the Director of Public Works for Perth South. Derek Collins, here, Foreman for Township of Zora, and Scott Simmons, he's Foreman Township of Zora. And each one of these fellows up here will be working on these projects together, some apart, but they'll all be involved, including Ken and I. So I'm not sure if we have anybody here from Road 64, so I don't think there's too much to share. Do we have anybody online watching, or we can go over that afterwards anyway? Has anybody joined online, Lisa? So we have Harry, you're from up on Road 98, and then two gentlemen from Beachville. Right on. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So I've sent a notice out earlier, really it was in detail, just to kind of outline exactly what we're going to be doing. It's pretty basic work. We're just doing pulverize and repave. In Beachville, there's two culverts underneath both ends of Piovesan, which will be replaced. They're due for replacement. They're in tough shape. You can tell by the surface above them. So we'll be changing them out. There's some work to do, a bit of work to do at the corner there. There's quite a steep ditch. We're going to look at maybe putting a catch basin in there and kind of clean that up so it's easier for the residents that live there to keep it cut and tidy. We always try to leave things as just as good or better when we leave, so residents are easy to take care of the properties on the out frontage and everything, and we appreciate that. So the plan is for pulverizing and repaving of Embro Street from the 43rd line all the way down to the southwest Oxford boundary, and then all of Piovesan. We're not changing much on width or anything on either one of those streets, just more or less giving it a brand new top. The driveways will have to be cut back a little bit because in the end, the profile, the road will be a little bit higher, about 2 to 3 inches when we're all said and done. So we'll have to cut back into the driveways and match that up with a nice taper so that there's no issues in and out with your vehicles. And when the work's being done at each one of the driveways, you'll get a day's notice from one or both of the foremen prior, so you can make arrangements just in case you have to get out, or if we're in the way, we can make sure there's no interruptions that way. We're planning on starting early July. I haven't got a set date yet when the pulverizer's coming. We'd like to get both those pipes changed out and get them done and get out of the way before they come in with a pulverizer. And then after the pulverizing done, we'll be in there with our own workers, with the graders, grading it, getting it profiled, compacting it, and putting water on it, and getting it ready for asphalt. Prior to asphalt, that'll happen again. It'll be graded and repacked. Asphalt, the application of the hot mix asphalt shouldn't take any more than a day or two. So the contractor that we source for this have done work from Zora for the last 2 or 3 years, and they're really efficient. They get through these spots pretty quick, and they've been doing a very good job for us. So far for Beachville, is there any questions or concerns? Yes.
My name is William Gilbert.
Yeah, you can just actually come up.
My name is William Piovesan. I live at 10 Piovesan Crescent. Just mine is more. Now I got an idea of what you're doing. You're not doing what like they did Southwest Oxford, where they're putting the curbs or anything else.
No.
My concern was that road, that crescent, was put in 1969. The gentleman who was a family friend worked for the DHO, and that road is put in to DHO standards.
Yep.
There's 2 feet of pit run and 1 foot of A gravel.
Yep, that's the MTO standard as well.
Yeah, and there should be, I know there is at least 1 level of tar and stone and 3 inches of asphalt, because when my dad turned it over to North Oxford at that time,
Yep.
they requested it that it must be paved, which
Yep.
it was.
Yep.
So that's just why I wanted to bring that up to light.
Yeah, that's good. That means there's good base there.
Yeah, it's good base.
Yeah.
Now, the Ambrose Street, that's a different story.
Yeah,
That's got a French drain down the middle of it,
right, yeah.
and it used to break up every spring. The only thing you get through there would be the grader and some guy with a Willys Jeep.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So, yeah, so it should turn out good. The asphalt, for the age of it, has stood up pretty well.
Well, that's got a tar and gravel on it. I think it's because the base was put in so well.
Yeah,
I know they had a bit of problems. Thornton Sand and Gravel put the road in. And they were using a front-end loader rubber tired. Well, as they were going back and forth, well, they forced the dirt up through the center.
Yeah.
And our family friend, the engineer, made him dig it all out and use a dozer to level it off, so it got a good base.
yeah, that's
So
good.
there's no question about the base on the crescent.
Perfect. That's good to, that's really good. So, and then after it's all done and said and paved, will be, our guys will be coming back in with topsoil and seed and fixing it all up afterwards. And then hopefully we get that done in good enough time, we get a bit of growth on the grass. There's gonna be some spots, we know on Emerald Street down the hill especially, that where there's gonna be some washing, so we'll have to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
coming back and touching it up until we get some grass here to help that.
Well, it's been a long time coming. That Emerald Street's been in terrible
It's in
shape.
rough shape. Yeah,
So-
and I think, it used to get a lot of traffic with the hydro building there.
Yeah, that's
And,
diminished now with them not being there.
Yes, and now that, and we're gonna put a nice, 3-inch lift of asphalt on there
Yeah.
again. And it's gonna be no wrap, so no recycled asphalt content in it at all. So it's all virgin material, so it should stand up very well.
Okay,
Okay?
sounds good.
Excellent, thank you. Yes?
No, sit down and just talk to me.
Am I on here?
Yep,
Now, this is more or less a kind of a request.
okay,
At 34 Ambrose Street, that's the south corner of Piovesan Crescent.
okay, so here,
Wait a minute, no, is that the Crescent? No, you're not, okay,
Right
yeah,
there, yeah.
yeah. Okay, where my north side
along here?
touches, yeah, where it touches the road, there's a god-awful steep there. You know, it's
Right.
just, I'm just wondering if that could be, like, it's still, like, the trees are on my property,
Yep,
but they're back quite a ways. But I would like if, when you were doing that, if you would just cut
More
that
slope?
taper down a little bit, so I don't slide down with my
Yeah.
lawnmower.
I don't think that, we'll look at it, we shouldn't have a problem doing that, just so you can cut it.
Yeah, because,
We may have to move the ditch back a little bit, just so
Yeah,
the
yeah.
slope is more gradual. But, yeah,
because I'm concerned, I'm 80 years old and I'm a little bit afraid to take the lawnmower on the side
well,
anymore.
understandable. And like I said earlier, we like to keep the profiles as easy to maintain as possible. So,
Yeah,
when we're in there, we'll pay special attention to that and
yeah,
see if we can get, I know we had the same request, I had a phone call a while back about another spot along here too, so, and I said the same, wherever we can slope it to make it easier to maintain, we will, so.
okay, appreciate
Okay.
that.
Not
Thank
a
you.
problem. So, we'll move on, I guess we'll go up to Road 98. It's very similar work, only, it's only getting one lift of asphalt this year and get an additional lift next year. There's a total of 9 cross culverts that are being replaced. We started our first one yesterday. We're hoping to get one a day done. We know there's some deep ones as we move over to the west that are gonna take possibly a run into the second day, so. But, weather permitting, we're hoping to have them done within between 2 and 3 weeks. Pulverizers, when them come in and pulverize the road, we'll be putting about 3 inches of gravel on top of that and compacting it with water, and then getting it shaped for asphalt. There's a extensive amount of guardrail posts that need repaired and replaced, and that work's gonna happen after asphalt, so we're not in the way of those guys doing their work. Again, like I said, once we get that in, we've got, like I said, 9 cross culverts, so we're compacting them with diesel plate tampers as we're putting them in, so there'd be as little as possible any settlement, but that's the reason why one of the reasons why we're going with one lift this year of hot mix asphalt, and then next year we'll be putting the second lift on. So if there is any settling, then it can be corrected before the top coat goes on, the top and final coat. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Ken. Questions?
Harry Van Dam. Guess we had talked already once about it. When the road was originally paved, Perth South started at 29 and then worked all the way down pretty much to our laneway, and
Yep.
they had rebuilt the whole road. And Zora patched up a bit on their end.
Mm-hmm.
And at the hill, between us and on both sides of the hill, you guys have repaved it because the road had sunk down so much,
Yeah, had wheel rutted, yes.
right?
Yeah.
So you don't have a foundation under the road. Would it not be wise, being that the township owns a gravel pit that's 4 miles away, that you should do what they did in Beachville and put a decent base under the road, because there's certainly a lot of truck traffic on our road.
So when we did that road in 2007, we dug a lot of test holes. We put a tile in as well. And I do recall that we checked a lot of the base areas in there, and we had substantial base. Actually, there was sand in that hill, if you recall. And we added a tile in there. And I think a lot of the wheel rutting was just simply that we did not, it was paved way too soon after the work was done. It should have sat a full year, and it didn't. It was repaved, it was paved in the following fall of that, we did all that construction. And you know as well as I do, when you plow a tile down the center of the road, and you can really see that on the east side of County Road 6, where the center of the road is actually settled, and we put pavement over top, and it's even settled that. That road should have sat at least 1 year before it got asphalt.
But the settling on the road is not, is just where the tire tracks are on both
Yeah,
sides.
and that's wheel rutting. And what happens is when you don't have good compaction underneath, that gets that sag, it cracks, the water gets in there. And then as that water gets in there and the repeated traffic, it pumps that material into there. And we've seen it, a good example of that is right close to County Road 6 on the west side, where it went through the complete craps.
Yeah.
And we put an overlay over top of it, and that was a couple years ago, and it's held up very well. There's not even a crack in that new asphalt. So it's telling me it's good base, it was poor compaction at the beginning, and it was poor asphalt that was put on there. It had too much wrap in it, it was too thin. Well, we're working in front of your place right now, and digging the asphalt up, it's only 1 inch thick there, right? We spec'd 2 inches, and we just didn't get it. It was a poor job. And you could see it within the next, after we paved that road, you could see it within the next 2-3 years. We knew it wasn't gonna stand up.
Well, and some of it was wearing down too, right?
Yeah.
With the plows.
Yes, and it does wear some, but not a full inch, right?
No,
Like there's no way we had 2 inches to start with there, right?
but if you look at the road, if you look from our place going west on what Perth South had rebuilt,
Yeah, it is
Really?
better for sure. Yeah.
I question almost whether it needs to be ground up, but anyways,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about that, but
Mhm.
if you go from our place going east,
Yeah,
the road has been a
yeah,
disaster. And it-
substantial difference for sure.
So whether
Yeah.
there's springs in it or like a sand base, but maybe it probably could use a better gravel base in it than just sand.
Well, possibly. I mean, drainage isn't one thing too, and I know there's not much of a ditch near the crest of that hill there either, right? Until you get to the top, so possibly some ditching there as well. But I mean,
The water does run off, like, the water just runs down the road
yeah, yeah,
on both sides.
yeah. So some ditching would probably help there as well. But I mean, Ken, if we can dig some test holes there and see what we're looking at, and if we think we have to. But I mean, that's.
And I
something we can
guess
look
as
at.
long as they get the asphalt.
Crowned
slope
properly?
Crowned,
Yes.
that,
Yes.
the water runs off the road.
Yes, yeah,
That
no,
would
and
also help.
drainage is huge, you know, and once you get wheel rutting, that is a hard fix, like, water sits in those spots. And once you get water sitting there, it just deteriorates the asphalt much faster, you get cracking, and then once the water gets under those cracks, it's, you know, freeze thaw,
So we
freeze thaw.
discussed that, tile, but I think you guys got that, you're gonna dig that up anyways, are you not? No, we reattached it because it
Yeah.
fell off. I think we've talked to one of the guys there a couple of years ago that there
Yeah.
was an issue there,
Yeah,
but, no idea.
no.
There was there when I know.
It runs pretty much right underneath that culvert that's there,
No idea.
close to it.
Yes, the pipe goes straight across the road, like the culvert,
Yeah.
and then that drain.
Runs a bit of an angle. All right, so,
Yeah, I know his springs run into it.
yeah. No, it'll be underground. Maybe you could meet the guys there. You plan on doing that one tomorrow? If you're around, Harry, would you know where approximately where that tile crosses, like starts to cross, or? No, okay. Well, we'll just have to chase it back, find it.
Yeah, no, we know where it is. We've hit it in the field, but I mean, I don't know where exactly. But
Yeah,
There's a fair bit of tile land that runs into that.
yeah. Was it 6 inch?
No, it's, nine.
Oh, is that right?
I think I
Okay,
put a 10-inch in there.
okay. Yeah. No, and that's good. I'm glad you brought that, because who knows the condition of that tile, right?
No,
Under
I
the-
don't think
under
it'd
the
be
road.
wise to leave it.
Yeah, no, not when we're putting new asphalt over top, so,
Yeah,
yeah,
so that's
Okay.
my only, concern.
okay, thank you. So, I'm not sure if everybody's watching online, but, Road 64, again, very similar to what we're doing baseline, Road 98, and, it's getting 2 lifts asphalt, but a straight pulverize and pave. Right now, we have some bridge work being done there, so, close to the end of the bridge completion, we're gonna be, moving in there and, getting pulverizing and that work, going. So we can kind of, as the road closure's already to the west, or to the east of that block, we'll just extend it through to the, Hunt Road, so we can get that work done. And, I haven't had any residents give me any calls on this, so I'm expect there's no concerns, but, quite often we get visits, we're on site, on scene, so, yes, please.
You said out the D-Tex, whatever, to designate where all the wiring is and everything?
Yeah, locates, yeah.
Well, he's got a line, a red line painted from the corner of my property or out to the driveway, and then on the other driveway, there is no wire there.
Oh, really?
But he says, there's wire there. And I said, well, I was here when they put the road in, because I had to sign for every load of gravel. But he's got, just for the road crew, when they're tearing up the gravel, or the asphalt, there is nothing there that I
Okay.
could remember.
Okay, yeah.
So-
So, well, I mean, it depends where the only place where we're gonna be digging to any depth is right at the both intersections of Piovesan.
Yeah,
So,
there's a gas line there that they
Yeah.
put in, but that's about all I can remember that's there.
yeah, okay, good, good. Yeah, so I think we got the locates are all done and complete and, oh, okay, so. Okay. Perfect, okay. And, just to mention, we'll make sure we don't do both sides of Piovesan the same day. We'll make sure you can get out. So, I guess, well, if there's any more questions from, yeah?
Right on the corner of Embro and Piovesan, right, yeah,
Yeah.
that corner right there. I don't know, they've got about 30 feet to go around the corner, but both garbage trucks go around there.
And cut the corner and make
And
a hell of a mess.
I've got it piled up,
Yeah,
you know, and it's a squash dirt. There's no base under that corner at all.
No, it wouldn't,
And
it
I
wouldn't be.
keep putting dirt in it and keep putting dirt in it, and I'm not putting no more in it.
Okay,
So, no, just, you know, like if they could dig that corner out and put a bit of a base under it,
or back up a bit here,
right there,
right there,
yeah.
okay. All right,
No, I don't know, I went out there and Southwest Oxford just comes up and turns around the crescent.
yeah,
And I asked him, I says, Jesus, I says, how many more feet do you need here?
right, I know,
said- He said, what do you mean? Every time they come back, the back dual just goes right across there.
yeah, okay. All right,
Anyway,
we'll see what we can do there too,
thank you.
no problem. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, looks like the gas line there. Yeah. I guess if there's any questions from somebody else, then I guess we'll finalize the meeting. Excellent. And please, don't hesitate to call me. You have my contact still on that letter I sent you. Anything pops up, don't hesitate to call me. And hopefully everything goes smooth.
Some of that entrance there should be built to Southwest Oxford. When they put the road in from the beach road down,
Yeah,
the trucks turned there and tore everything up there.
yeah,
And I approached them about repairing it. Oh, yeah, we'll get it done, we'll get it done. It's that been about 20 years now? And
Yeah,
haven't seen anybody
it's
since.
been a while.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, even that asphalt's starting to get to, it's showing its age too down there, but,
But they tore that all up, the tandem truck, dump truck come in there and just tore it all up and they never made any,
yeah,
things to repair it.
okay.
Yes.
Well, wait till I talk to Adam Pros about that. Thank you. All right, I guess if there's no more questions or anything, I guess we'll end the meeting.